everyone, welcome to Tales from the Tent. Today we're going to be reading the first book in the series of Kingdom Keepers. Now this is one of my personal favourite books because it's so engaging, it can be thrilling at points, and I absolutely love it so much. Now, as a bit of backstory, the series is about a group of 5 friends who visit Disney after dark, and it's very, very dramatic at points, and I absolutely love it so much. I would recommend this book for years 6 to 7, possibly 5, but mainly 6 to 7, and I hope you enjoy. He found himself standing next to a flagpole in town square in the heart of Magic Kingdom. In his pyjamas. How he'd gotten there, he had no idea. His last memory was climbing into bed. It felt like only a few minutes earlier. Gripped by a sense of panic, awed by the sight of Cinderella Castle at night, Finn Whitman briefly recalled that he'd had other, similar dreams recently, always in the Magic Kingdom, always at night. But in his 13 years, none so real, so vivid as this. He felt a breeze on his face. He smelled the wet earth of a flower bed not far away. He heard the distant whine of traffic and the buzz of a motorboat on the lake behind them. It looked so different, he thought, only to realise he'd spoken out loud. Main Street stood empty, not a person in sight. He glanced around and quickly saw that he was all alone. Not so different as all that, came a man's voice, though faint. It startled Finn. He looked around again, this time trying to find the source of that voice. There! An old guy with white hair on a bench. He sat so close to a seated sculpture of Goofy that Finn hadn't noticed him. Finn moved towards the man, crossing the empty street. He felt unusually light. The man wore a collared shirt and a name tag, Wayne. Where is everybody? Finn asked, struck by the electronic sound of his own voice. Is it empty? The man asked, looking up anxiously. Tell me what you see. Finn wondered if the old guy was blind. He seemed to be looking straight at Finn. His blue eyes looked perfectly normal. Still, maybe he couldn't see. Well, said Finn politely, it's like empty. And it's dark out. And it's just the 2 of us. Wayne's expression changed to disappointment. What am I supposed to see exactly? Finn asked. You're only supposed to see what you can see. Whatever that means, Finn said. It means exactly what it says, said Wayne. If you say so. Listen, young man. I've been around here since long before any of them were even created. I live in the apartment above the fire station. He pointed right at the firehouse, then looked back at Finn. That takes some sonority, believe me. Finn wondered. Living above the firehouse? Finn doubted it. Nice pyjamas, the old guy said. Finn looked at himself. His pyjamas seemed to be glowing. What was with that? I don't mean to be rude, but if you can see, if you're not blind, then why do you ask me about the park being empty? He said. Wayne's ice blue eyes drilled into him. How do you think you got here, young man? That depends on where I am, Finn answered honestly. This felt like no dream he'd ever experienced before. Very good answer. I expected no less of you. Excuse me? I assumed that you'd question this. That's only natural. But ultimately, there's only one explanation, isn't there? Is there? Finn asked, confused. The other ones I wasn't so sure about. But you, Finn Whitman? By the way, that's a fine name you have. A name with real potential. Finn took a step back. How did this old guy know his name? What other ones? Finn asked. He studied Town Square and Main Street. The street lamps shone yellow. The Cinderella Castle glowed in the distance. All the familiar streets and paths and attractions, but empty. I told you! There's no one here, no one but us. It's empty. Wayne said nothing as he stood up and walked up Main Street past the shops and toward the castle. Finn found himself following right along. They reached Central Plaza, an island in the centre of a traffic circle, the spokes of which led to the Magic Kingdom's various lands, Tomorrowland, Frontierland, and Liberty Square. They stopped in front of a statue of Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse. The castle rose majestically into the night sky. What time is it? Wayne asked. As Finn brought him up to look at his watch, he saw that his arm wasn't exactly his arm. It was glowing. Not only glowing, he could almost see through it, as if... What's going on? Said Finn. What's with my arm? Wayne sounded critical as he said, Figure it out. He then reached into his pocket and removed what looked like a remote control for a car, a small, black, plastic fob with a single red button. It looked like a garage door opener. What's with that thing? Finn asked. This button will send you back. Back where? Finn felt a jolt of fear. What if this wasn't a dream? He studied his arm again, then his other arm. He looked down at his legs. His whole body was glowing and vaguely translucent. Back to bed, Wayne answered. So it is a dream. I thought so. It's not a dream.